Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, then welcome to you. Today I'm going to be doing the monthly reads for June 2020, and I am going to be reading now for my lovely Leos. If you are new to my channel, then the monthly reads, I pull out some starter cards which allows me to do some meditative poetry, which I like to read at the very end of the reading, hence my name, Poetry Witch. And the cards I'm going to be using to do this this month, because I was really drawn, guys, to the Mermaid oracles. Okay, something was just telling me to work with the Mermaid oracles, hence why my scene has changed this month to incorporate that theme. So without further ado then, Leo, the first card that came out in the Mermaid oracle deck was the Coral's Wisdom, and it's got colony, delicacy, fragility, works that are created over great periods of time. Okay, that came out with the animal spirit card of the mouse spirit, saying tend to small things. And then the self-care card was playfulness. Okay, and on the back of this card it says play with a child, children are your greatest teachers. So I'm just going to go through what I picked up on the meditative poetry bit when I was looking at these cards. So picking up the Coral's Wisdom, I just felt here, you are changing and evolving, okay? And some of you, I feel, going into June, sort of standing in the mirror thinking, who is this person? It's as though some of you feel a bit lost, feel a bit unsure, uncertain. And I also picked up as well on the relationship stance of things, where you were just going through the motions with a partner or a family member or somebody close within your network. Okay, it was like just going through the motions and feeling, you know, your heart wasn't in certain aspects. Okay, but obviously I'll touch on that a bit later when I come to read my poetry. But I just felt as though I'd got two sides of the coin here with the actual transformation. I just felt that certain people, okay, on the Leo side, it's as though things that have affected you, literally, you know, it's like the scars that we can't see, okay, but feel, if that makes sense to you. And I just felt some of you out there were just sort of, I say, standing in the mirror, looking in the mirror and thinking, who am I? You know, I don't even remember who I am, because it's just certain things that have gone on, certain things that have built up over time. As I said, I've just felt a little bit of uneasiness around a family unit, for some of you, okay? But I just feel that some of you have lost your direction. Then on the other side of the coin, it's as though you have transformed, and some of you could have literally, you know, stand in front of the mirror and think, God, look at me now. You know, look how far I have come. Look how, you know, I've got more confidence. I've got more direction, and I sort of know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going to. So I've got a positive and a negative side here with this Coral's Wisdom card, okay? So like I say, some of you have lost, you know, your direction, have, you know, lost, I just feel like this detachment for some of you as well. You just want to be, you know, your own solitary time, because I do feel it's healing for some of you. But on the other side, as I said, it's a positive, and this transformation is coming in, and you know, you're happy with how you're evolving, okay? Now the mouse spirit card, tend to the small things. It's as though this message here is saying sometimes we can, you know, worry about the large aspects in our life, okay? And it's like saying, oh, you know, I must make sure I do this and that's got to be sorted out. And then if I can try and explain it, say you've got a passion, you've got a creative idea, or you enjoy doing your true essence, really. Like, say if you love to paint, or you love to do crafting things, or you love to play music, a musical instrument, and really that is just a hobby, okay? It's like a small aspect, okay? Because in between all that, you've got to like do your job, you've got to earn your money, you've got to take care of people. Do you know what I mean? So you forget about the smaller things, so you don't find time to do the things that you enjoy doing. But I feel for June that the message is coming out for you, Leo, to say, no, you need to tend to these small things, because from these small things, big things can come from it. So I feel some of you are overlooking your talents here, overlooking your abilities and the bigger things in your life, okay? Because some of us, we have responsibilities put on us, you know, where if we're caring for elderly people, parents, children, they all come first. They are the big priorities, the big responsibilities. And then the smaller things where it's our little bit of me time, little bit of time away, where we like to, you know, if we're learning a language or learning to play an instrument, or we're painting, drawing, writing, that kind of thing comes lower down in the scale. But you need to flip it in June, okay? You need to try and get the balance right here, because as I said, from these smaller things, bigger things could transform and benefit you. The playfulness card, okay, then I feel this is going back to your inner child, because I'm looking at the artwork on here. I do reference obviously sometimes to the words on the back saying children are your greatest teachers, and sometimes, you know, kids can come out, they're so they're just so innocent, and but when they come out with something, do you know what I mean, sometimes what they actually say can be the truth, okay, in their innocence. So if you have got children around you and, you know, they come out with something like, you know, but you shouldn't be doing that, you should be doing like this, okay? Sometimes they can, as small as they are, as young as they are from us, they can actually teach us things, especially in the world of technology today, where some of us, you know, will sit there and we'll say, well, how do we do this? And they're there, got the phone off you, and it's done. Okay, so they can be our teachers. But on this instance, I feel, Leo, that this artwork here is tapping into your inner child, remembering, you know, to get some. To lift and like to lighten the mood, lift the spirit, because a child, you know, has no worries. Okay, a child has, you know, they wake up in the morning and it's just, you know, what can I do today? And they haven't got any, you know, they have got structure, but not like the structure that we have, where we've got to make sure we meet demands and everything else, and, you know, we've got to be there at a certain time if it's a job. You know, they haven't got as much responsibility as a child. And this is what the messages I'm feeling here to say. You need to tap back into your inner child to get some playfulness, to get this going back to the smaller details, okay? Not being on centre stage, so to speak, in dealing with all the big problems that you have to deal with every day, okay? So I'm going to start shuffling the cards just to get some more clarity now for you, Leo, on these 3 starter cards that we've had for you. So let's have a look what else we've got coming through. It's just that with the playfulness card, because I was, like I say, I'm so drawn to the artwork on my cards. It's like a heavy cloak. I feel like some of you are like, you know, are being hidden under a heavy cloak, burdened by other people as well. But it's just saying you've got to tap back into this inner child. It could be some of you, you know, did have difficulties when you were growing up. You could have been bullied as a child, and, you know, when you're in an environment, because I felt like some of you, I felt a strain in a relationship somewhere here for some of my Leos, and when you're not getting on with somebody, it can bring all these, you know, doubts and fears back into ourselves, and, you know, we start to doubt ourselves, okay? But it's just saying here, you need to sort of lift away from that in June, okay? So we have Queen of Hearts, 6th sense, And when I look at the sixth sense, we've got the green here, and it's about healing. So as I said, there's a lot of healing work to be done here for you. There is transformation coming through, okay, but I feel solitary, alone time, and it's saying here that you may have gone through a period of this where, you know, you do sort of try and engage with other people, but then you always revert back to, I like my quiet space, I like my me time, and it's like going in within your own headspace, okay? So I do feel that you know, you do get caught up in your own thought processes sometimes, and sometimes you can be your own worst enemy. But I do feel a lot of healing coming in for you in June. This is what needs, you know, you need to start getting some clarification. You need to start lifting these heavy cloaks of responsibilities that I feel some of, you know, some of this heaviness, this hard trudging has been caused by other people. I feel quite sad, really, Leo, for some of you, okay, because you do feel a loner, okay, you do feel you don't fit in this world, some of you, okay, and every morning when you get out of bed, you just sort of sit on the end of the bed for a few minutes thinking, oh, here we go, and you take that deep breath, okay, and you have to put that big smiley face on because you know you've just got to do your best and struggle and get through the day. And as I say, you know, it's hard, okay, and especially with how things are at the moment, things aren't normal, are they? We can't just literally just go anywhere we want to and mix with anybody and have a hug off somebody, and that magnifies it even, you know, 100 times worse than how you're feeling. But it's healing. June is healing, okay? You've got to try and work through this and lift those heavy burdens and responsibilities that I feel that you put on sometimes yourself. You try and do too much for other people as well, and then that wears you out and tires you out, okay? Makes you feel a bit, you know, short-tempered, and then it just spirals and you keep going round, some of you, in this catch-22 scenario. So anyway, we'll carry on. We've got Queen of Stars Illuminator. So can we see the transition here going through June? You start off knowing you are feeling like this. You've got all these thoughts. Some of you are struggling, if it's on relationships, if it's, you know, a career aspects, if you're thinking, you know, money's tight and how are things going to manifest in the next couple of months. But just know, by, as it said from the mouse spirit here, tend to the small things, okay? Because the big things are always going to be there. The same responsibilities that we, you know, have to do in day in and day out, they don't change. But it's the message is key to say tend to the smaller things, and the smaller things can be literally tend to yourself as well, your own needs, your own thoughts. By doing that and trying to get more balance, because I think you're outweighing on the big side of things to the smaller side, then we get this transformation. It's like shining a light, okay, stepping out of the darkness into the light with the Queen of Stars. And you go within, and that's why the playfulness, that is why it's so key when I said you need to go within, tap into that inner child, address things that you know where you are your own worst enemy for. But by doing that with the Queen of Stars, by going within, okay, then you will start to feel get more clarity. I feel you'll get more clarity. So I'm going to get some more cards here and just open this up a little bit more. But I do feel that whoever I'm picking up with on the Leos, it could be that some of you aren't getting the peace and quiet what you've been used to, especially like if you've got a family or children where they would have gone to school on a normal stance, and you get your little bit of me time to do the smaller things, okay, that you enjoy doing. So it becomes a bit, you know, that it starts to layer up over time, and you feel that, oh, that frustration of, I wished I could just have 5 minutes to myself. It's that type of energy. But you've got to try, and, you know, if you've got somebody that if you actually live with somebody and say, look, you know, you're going to have to take care because I need 5 minutes out, even if it's just to lie in a bath and relax, okay, something like that, just to get your healing time there. So we have 2 of stars, boldness. So I feel, as I said at the start of this reading, I felt a situation around a partner or a family member where you were sort of getting on each other's nerves, okay, but by doing this process, going through the month of June, then it brings you closer together. And I also want to say, it brings you to see who you are. Because you know, when I started this reading and I said you're standing in front of the mirror, Leo, and you're looking at yourself and thinking, what's happened to me? Who am I? Who is the person? I've lost my identity. I've lost who I am. On the other side of the coin, I said people look in the mirror and say, wow, look how I've changed, I've transformed, I may have lost weight, I may have exercised, I've grown into a better person. But all I'm saying is that card there, at the end of the month, it's like you are going to stand in that mirror on either side and you are going to see the person and you'll remember who you are, if that makes sense, Leo, okay? And that's why we've got that card there. So I'm just going to get another card out to see what is coming in at the end of June. See what we've got coming through towards the very end of the month, going into the start of July. I want to say as well, some of you are having reoccurring dreams, okay? To make note of these reoccurring dreams. I know it's hard sometimes when we, you know, wake up and we know we've been dreaming and we can just about remember, and then the more we try to remember, we forget, don't we? But if you can try, but I feel a recurrence. It's either I don't know, it's a reoccurring dream where the message is really poignant. It's like it's trying to tell you something. So whatever that is, if you are having reoccurring dreams, then drop what the dream is below and I will try and work that out for you, because my next monthly theme, I'm going to be looking at dreams and that kind of, you know, symbols, signs and that kind of thing, dream catchers, and everything in the month of July. So that is going to be my theme for next month. So it is interesting, if you are getting any reoccurring dreams or you start to, then please let me know underneath and I will try and have a look at those for you, okay? So we have here the force, strength. So going at the end of the month, you are literally, as I said, transforming. You are getting your strength back together. You are feeling who I said, remembering who you are. You'll be more focused, okay? I want to say you want to stand up for yourself as well, because I do feel that some of you there, even though we can, you know, if we can, people can make us feel small, can't they, and inferior, and like we haven't got a voice. But even if you're small, you can, you know, get your voice and opinion out there, be brave enough. And I think that is why the strength card has come out to say, you know, you are going to pick up again by the end of the month, because I do feel, you know, this quite lost energy starting in at the beginning of June for you, Leo. So I'm going to start shuffling the little mermaid sea melodies cards now and just see what we get out of there for you. But I do feel on the romantic side of things, for those who are starting or embarking on a relationship, I felt I was really drawn to somebody who'd sort of been 4 months into a relationship and they were questioning it, okay? And I believe like it's the Leo who's questioning who they are with, thinking this isn't for me, I'm sort of making it work, okay? And I feel like it's starting to burden you now, and for whoever I'm picking up there with, then I do feel that it's just you want to keep it on a friends only basis. I feel the other person may want to push it further, but you know, you may have known them about 4 months and it has been sort of on a friends basis, and the other person wants to take it further, but you know within your own headspace that you just want to keep it as friends. that's not going to resonate with all of you, obviously, but I just needed to put that out there. We've got Prudence here. Don't be lured by the siren song. So this card's come out from the Mermaid saying, and I want to say the siren song, I believe that is your own inner voice. Don't be lured back into old thought processes, old habits, tripping yourself up. You know, we get into these situations, as I said, you can be your own worst enemy. Somebody might say to you, and I'm looking at like in the next couple of months where they might say to you, oh, do you fancy coming out for, you know, a drink? Do you fancy just going out for a walk even, okay? And then you'll be thinking, and the sirens start going into your head thinking, I really don't want to go, I really don't, I'm happy here, because you're in your little comfort zone. So I do feel, you know, don't be lured by the siren song. And sometimes we have to be prudent, don't we? You know, and it works, okay? It does work in some situations, but I just feel I'm more drawn to the message of siren song here to say, don't let your inner voice pull you back. And I want to say the mind process, really, going with the Queen of Hearts. So it's just a little message there from the mermaids just to say, okay, just be aware that sometimes your own inner voice can be your own worst enemy, if that makes sense to you, Leo, okay? So let's just have a look at the other card here. The universe has your back. See what comes out on this one. And we have, I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort, okay? So we've got the phases of the moon here as well. So I do feel, as I said, going through the month of June, you are going to transform, and amid the discomfort, okay? This is like, as I was saying, because you're so used to being in a certain pattern, and when you get taken off that, it can be a bit, you know, you're not really happy with it. You do feel some discomfort because it's not your normal routine, okay? But by doing things that we're not used to, then it gives us personal growth, and we find deeper meanings of ourselves and who we are, okay, when we do go out of our comfort zones. So by doing that, even if it's just little things, okay, where, you know, how can I put it, just little things where you wouldn't normally, you know, consider. If somebody said to you, as daft as this, oh, come on then, give us a song, just, you know, give us a few, and you're thinking, oh no, because you don't really, you know, you're a bit embarrassed, thinking, well, if I start singing, I'm not really good. Do you know what I mean? But if you go out of that comfort zone and you do have a little sing song and you do stand there, and then it's something that you're not used to, but then afterwards you're thinking, I actually did that. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Something along those lines. So it's just to say, you know, from amid the discomfort, we do grow and we do learn, okay? And through bad circumstances, you know, we learn from our lessons, don't we? So that's why that card has come out for you. So guys, what I'm going to do now is, because this is a mermaid theme this month, I wanted to bring this Mermaid's Mirror Journal in, okay? It's done by Lucy Cavendish, who's the same person who did the Mermaid Oracle decks that I've used this month. And what I've been doing is, I've just been flicking through the book and stopping where I think I want to stop at, and then read whatever is closest to the page that I turn, okay? So I'm just going to flick through this and just stop where I think I need to for you, Leo. Okay, and I'm going to go to the right side of the page. It's got huge bodies of water like the Pacific are brimming with energies and memories, and you are one who can read them, one who can speak the language of energy when you connect with them through the love and blessings of the mermaids. So what I feel the message here is, when it says huge bodies of water like the Pacific are brimming with energies and memories, and you are one who can read them, one who can speak the language of energy. when you connect with them. So it's saying here, you need to connect with your own inner energies. And this is, you know, this couldn't have been more of a poignant page to pull out for you, Leo, because it's saying here, you know, you can read them. You can read your own, when you're feeling low, okay, you know to read your own signs. But it's because the word connect is coming into that little bit of a reading there. This is what you've got to do. You've got to start to reconnect with your inner self, okay? And as I said at the start, didn't I? Some of you have lost your way. Some of you have lost your identity. Some of you have changed your identity. I said there was a positive and a negative on here. To embrace those energies, whether positive or negative, and you, like the tide turns, and this is what I feel going through the month of June for you. The tide is going to turn, and by the end of the month you are going to feel in a more positive state, my lovelies. What I'm going to do before I pull the charm, I am going to read you my poem. And this month your poem was really, really long. It was long last month, Leo, but this month, okay, that was last month, okay, took a whole page and I had to literally squeeze in here. So I'm just going to read you this, okay. You are feeling vulnerable and exposed to the elements of life. You have forgotten who you are. As you look in the mirror, your body is engaging and you are rearranging the person you used to be. Tensions between a partner or family member gets you down. You are sick of the clowns around you at this time. You are walking a fine line between fantasy and reality. Happy and carefree, yet the child within begins to remind you that you need to have fun. Drop the labels of mom, mother, brother, sister, son. Allow yourself to come undone, and so you can fix yourself. No more playing cat and mouse around the house. The cat may look big and scary, but be wary that just because you are made to feel small, it doesn't mean your voice cannot stand tall and raise itself to be heard. A lesson learned this month. Don't worry about the big things. You need to be paying attention to the small things, the small that can turn big. So dig in your heels. So feels the calling from within your inner child. Don't let it hide any longer, for you will grow stronger and manifest your inner dreams. So that was just off the cuff, and that's just how that poetry rolled off once I saw those first three starter cards. And, you know, no more playing cat and mouse around the house. The cat may look big and scary, but be wary that just because you are made to feel small, it doesn't mean your voice cannot stand tall and raise itself to be heard. Because I do feel this month I was picking up with some Leos who do need to voice their opinions, do need to stand up to themselves, you know, not to be treated like doormats for some of you. That's obviously just going to resonate for some of you, not all of you. But as it says here, you know, so dig in your heels, so feels the calling from within your inner child. And that was that playfulness card, wasn't it? And I do want you to concentrate on that this month, even if you know, try and get that quiet space so you can sit within and get that clarity, because by doing that you will be able to get rid of some of those skeletons that, you know, can haunt you from time to time. So I'm going to pull out the little charm now to finish up this reading. See what we've got. Okay, and we have the little charm of the fish. Okay, and when I look at the fish, it's about resurfacing, deep waters as well. You've been in some emotional deep waters, and I want to say you've been in deep waters to protect yourself, okay? But going through the month of June, it's about resurfacing and being able to swim against the tide, okay? It may be that that is what you have been doing, and it's been a struggle, you know, swimming against the tide. But I feel like I want to turn that over and say go with the flow as well, because I always like the fishes with water elements, and I say this month go with the flow, and you will be coming out of those deeper waters, those turbulent waters that I feel, and it will be calmer. So you'll be able to sort of, I want to say, you know, like fish bask, don't they, in the sun? And that's what I feel by the end of the month. You will be able to resurface and lie there and literally relax and take in those, you know, energies and get re-energized as well. So that is why I feel that little charm has come out for you this month. So my lovelies, I hope you can take something from that reading today, and I hope you have a great June, and I will look forward to reading to you next time. So take care then. Bye.